And we'll wait for some more people to come. I got a lot of responses this time, so I do think people will be coming.
Okay.
There's Carl. Mike. It's nice to see you today, Carl.
Yeah, in person.
In person. Hey, Allison Holland says she cannot be on this call today, but she had a question. And you might know the answer, or Mike, and I sent an email to Liz at Progress Center. Who's in charge of summer meal programs this summer? Do you know?
We
Well,
are.
Yeah, I was just going to say Mike is.
Mike is. Okay.
I don't know if the Progress Center is doing any or not. Mike, do you?
I do not know. I was asked by a lot of the programs if we would be interested in providing meals, and I told them that we would. And if you'd all like an update on locations, I'm more than happy to give that to you.
Yeah, let's wait a little bit until we get some more people on, and that would be great, Mike.
Sure.
And there's Amy.
I'm preparing a press release right now.
Super.
Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was
You're
actually
1
in.
minute late. You're 1 minute
Okay.
late. I just knew you had forgotten before. That's why I sent you the email.
Yes, I was flying up here. I was in Pemaquid all morning. So,
Oh, wow.
because I'm on vacation, but I missed you guys.
Oh.
So I wanted to pop in.
Awesome.
It just makes me feel all tingly.
Good.
Well.
We have a new friend here from the Burlington Food Pantry. Awesome. We're gonna kind of go around and introduce in a minute. Just waiting for a few more people. Hi, Jimmy. Thank you for coming as always. You get high marks for reliability, I must say.
It's not always the case, but I'll make it when I can.
It's true. It is. I think got enough. We can get started. So I'm going to get started. Welcome to the June 2022 edition of the Foothills Community Food Forum. The purpose of this call and this meeting is to support those who are working on food insecurity issues in the Oxford County and beyond area. We are starting to reach a little further beyond. So happy to do that. We are all trying to learn from each other, trying to learn best practices. We're trying to help each other. And we are blessed to have a lot of the people who help us do the work that we do in food insecurity with Good Shepherd and TFAP here on the call. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to introduce myself real quick because there's some people on here who may not know me. And then if everybody, I can call on you and introduce yourself. And if you have any news to share or anything, this is a good time to do it. So I'm Holly Stewart. I'm a SNAP mute yourself. I'm going to ask. There you go. I'm a SNAP Ed community nutrition educator working at Healthy Oxford Hills. I go into the classrooms in pre-K through second grade and teach Pick a Better Snack as well as Eat Well, Play Hard. I also teach adult and other ages cooking classes. This summer, I'm going to be offering 2 sessions of Cooking Matters for Adults at the Oxford Hills Food Pantry in the kitchen of Christ Church in Norway. I have included a flyer on lots of our emails, and I will do that again. It is totally free. Anybody can come. My kids' classes I have 1 spot left in my second session. I'm going to be teaching food smarts in 2 sessions this summer in the same location to second to fourth graders, and that's gotten a great response. But both of the adults classes will be held. I have enough to definitely make it happen, but I can take more people. So let me know if you have any participants. The adult class is going to be 5:30 to 7 in the evening on Tuesday evenings. I've not done an evening class. I'm going to see if that attracts people who can't make it during the day. So that's what I'm doing. Linda, tell me what's up with you. Unmute,
Mute.
unmute.
Okay, I'm Linda Bradley. I'm from the Sweden Food Pantry, and our most exciting news is they finally started the circular driveway. Yay! It's it's going to change in design a little bit. I guess all projects do. They came across some ledge that will end up shortening. It won't be as long as I wanted it to be, but that's okay. It's cool. There'll be an entrance and an exit, and nobody has to back out. So
Just so you all know, Linda has gotten to be a really good little mini grant writer and has gotten some capacity building grants through Good Shepherd. She's gotten a van, she's getting her part of her driveway done. So, you know, it's not that hard to write them if you need them. And Linda is now an expert. So
no,
she can
you
help.
make really Good Shepherds makes their grants so easy that a third grader could do them. Really, I mean they're simple. They don't take a lot of time. For the van, I think Holly encouraged me to apply. That not Holly. Oh my goodness, what's her name? Amy. Geez, I'm sorry, Amy, if you're on here. Amy encouraged me to apply, and it was like the day before, and I got it. So.
That's great. Awesome. Great to hear. Maureen, welcome from Burlington.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes, thank you. I was invited to this. This is my first time. I'm the director of the Burlington Food Pantry. This town has had a pantry for about 30 years, serving less than 20 people. I was teaching full-time school, and we all know what happened March 2020. I started delivering school lunches. That's already been addressed. And then people asked me for food, and within just a short period of time, we partnered with Good Shepherd. So we served that following week less than 20 people, and last week we had a little over 200 families. So the growth has been unbelievable. And we're really stretched for space, but we're learning fast how to do this. So people are being helped, and we're grateful.
And it's good to meet you, because I don't know how you happened to email me, but we got connected, and here you are.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
happy
you.
to have you here, Maureen. We're happy to have you
Thank
here.
you.
Doesn't Good Shepherd have like tent structures and stuff that, especially in the summertime, did you guys have them one year? Little canopies? No? Am I thinking
At Good
something?
Shepherd or
Yeah,
at Burlington?
at Good Shepherd. To offer to people. Yeah, I don't know.
We had thermal blankets and scales,
No,
and
that's not. I was
at one-
thinking of like little canopies, little tents for summertime distribution when you have a lot of people outside. No.
no, we've given people money for grants for those types of things, but we don't have any.
Okay, awesome.
Perhaps unless it was like a food mobile, we may bring some canopies for.
Okay. Maybe that's on there. Well, welcome, Maureen. Rebecca from the Maine Department of Education, welcome.
So glad to be here. I worked as a Vista last year to end food insecurity for students in Maine. And I'm staying on with the Maine School Safety Center because a well-fed kid is more likely to be a well-behaved kid. And I just wanted to get to know all of the groups in the area and keep my fingers on the pulse of what's happening with food security. So thank you for letting me be a fly on the wall.
Welcome. And we'll continue on with education and nutrition with Mike Mayberry. Mike, please introduce yourself.
Mike Mayer, I'm the food service director of Oxford School District. And Rebecca, if you wanted to put the little one to sleep, this is the wrong Zoom for that. This is some pretty thrilling stuff here. A few updates for the summer program. I pretty much have everything in place. I have a pretty robust staff of approximately 12 people. We're broadening our locations this year to include Agnes Gray, Guy Rowe, Oxford Elementary, the high school, Paris Elementary, Roberts Farm, Waterford Elementary, and the school, of course. The only school that I really wasn't able to work out due to socioeconomic demographics was Hebron Elementary. I tried to get really creative. Really wasn't much I could do. I sent out free and reduced applications for the 14 students participating there. I've yet to receive any of them back. If I reach a 53% threshold of free and reduced applicants, then we could probably go ahead and offer that as a location. It appears unlikely at this point, though, that we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, it's hard to get the numbers at Hebron. I've experienced that myself.
It's our most affluent town by far. We just received a rather sizable summer allotment from our USDA commodities of roughly 96 cases, so that will come in handy. And to sort of reduce costs, I'm going to try to utilize as much of the USDA product that we have over the summer, just to lower overall food costs and try to stay within target. Aside from that, pretty much business as usual, winding down, closing out the year.
Winding down and winding up. Mike, is there anything that we can do to help support you, especially with the summer programs?
I think we're in pretty good shape. I'll probably send out an email to all of you with specific times for each respective location. We'll be operating Monday through Thursday, commencing on June 27 through August 14. And there are some locations that might be slightly different in scheduling with beginning and end dates. All the programs are a little bit different.
That's great. Thank you for taking that on. I know it's been a hard project to get people to stay committed to and stuff. So
well, a lot of moving parts, but everyone's been great, and I think that this will help with a lot of food insecurity in the area, or I'm hopeful that it will.
Awesome. Thank you. Rosalie, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Rosalie Ketchum, and I'm the treasurer of Oxford Hills Food Pantry in Norway. Our numbers are beginning to pick up a little bit. We're finding that being open the 4 to 6 slot on Wednesday encourages people to come at a later time. And I'm still looking for a director. That's it.
Great. Seal?
Seal Rosignol, Local Food Council Coordinator, Community Food Matters, it is called. And we just had our first open in-person quarterly public forum since before the pandemic at Allen Day Community Garden this past weekend. And it was a good little group, really great to be in person and just hear, just so different, just reminded once again how different it is from Zoom. And so that was good. And we are looking to see if we will know by the end of the month about a grant from New England Grassroots Environment Fund, and also part of shared gifting from the main network of community food councils. We're submitting our proposal to them because they do a shared gifting model. They got a grant and then they disperse it amongst the food councils and you make a proposal. So we'll know about that in a week or so as well. So some good opportunities for expanding this position with more hours potentially, and just kind of trying to get some momentum.
Great. That's all good news. That's great. Jimmy.
Howdy, yeah, Jimmy Durda here, Acting Director of the Emergency Food Assistance Program here in Maine. Yes, I'm a state employee. Some news for us. We're gonna get one more staff into our office, which is great. So I've kind of been fulfilling Jason Hall's role like as in an acting capacity, and now we're getting a new director. So I'll go back to the role that I was in and kind of do a little bit more with CSFP, but I'll still be here for the time being. So that's good that we'll get a little more support to kind of just hammer out some stuff. There's always more administrative work than I can do, so it's helpful to just spread the load. For TFAP, I did recently post a new application that has the newest income guidelines on it, so that's good. Yeah, we'll probably have an announcement or a memo to come out to announce the new director and kind of piggyback in the new application on with that. But if you do go on our website, you'd be able to see the new form too. So that's good. As far as product coming in, we did recently get some frozen chicken in, which our freezers were empty. So it's good that TFAP can finally again have something. We had an abundance for so long, and then yeah, everyone kind of snatched it up just with the recent price increases and whatnot. So it's exciting that we're able to have something. So that's good. And I think last time I mentioned getting fresh fruit. Maybe I didn't, but yeah. Before we're getting a good amount of fresh fruit in to this program through August, but it's actually going to be through October. So we'll have really strong amounts of fresh milk and fresh fruit for that time frame. And the fruit is like nectarines and peaches and plums, some fresh grapes. So on top of what we're already getting with Mainers feeding Mainers, it's good to get this other resource that's free and that we all can access. So just happy to keep the food flowing.
Great, that's good to know, all that stone fruit coming in. That's really good. Amy, welcome.
I'm Amy Mailman. I'm the community resource representative at Good Shepherd Food Bank for Androscoggin and Oxford counties. Recently, we've been dealing in Androscoggin County with some of the asylum seekers that are coming in, and a lot of the more diverse food being needed, as well as I guess there's some cooking classes that are needed out there. So as far as I understand, we've got about 100 families, so that's kind of in the forefront right now. And well, as of the end of last week anyways. And I had been talking to some of my pantries about a grant coming out in spring that is being put on hold because we're going to be doing some more CDS work, community driven strategy work. I'm really excited about this because it's kind of getting people with lived experience involved in the overall strategy of ending hunger in Maine. So I'm super excited. I can't wait till Oxford County is into that so that we can really dive in deep. And thank you, Jimmy, for the update on the TFAP applications. I've been getting requests, so that's great to hear that it'll be going out soon. I appreciate that. Other than that, the one thing that I'm kind of looking for feedback for is how are these prices affecting you guys? And supply chain, how is that affecting? I've been watching the videos or the recordings of these meetings, the last couple that I've missed, and I'm so sorry. But they're wonderful. Thank you, Holly, for recording them because it looks like you guys have had a lot of great conversation. And it's just great information for me to pass on to. So that's kind of what I'm looking for feedback right now. How are these awful prices affecting the food pantries?
Maureen and Linda and Rosalie, do you want to speak to that?
I'll just say that our freezers are also empty, but we're not without food. We have 9 freezers and we've got only about 2 of them running. but that's, everything comes in just in time. But we bought from a local farmer up in Stowe, Maine, we bought half a cow.
You
And
did get your cow. Awesome.
we did. And because we deal with an older population who a lot have teeth problem or no teeth, we ground the whole half a cow into hamburger.
Oh my God.
So that's going to be some pretty damn good hamburger, I think, because it's the same stuff. And we got to make it into 1 pound packages. So if we want to, that's, and for
Wonderful.
large families, we just do more. And from this same farmer, Errol Smith is his name, and he is in Stowe. I said that, and we're going to get a pig from him. So we're very excited about that, and his prices still are reasonable. What he said was, do it now, don't wait. Everything's going up: gas, fertilizer, the processor, the blah blah. And so we acted on that. So at least in another month, we'll have a pig.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, everything's going up. I just paid over $6 for a bag of King Arthur bread flour.
Yeah.
Never paid that much. I was really shocked. Maureen, how are you guys handling in Burlington?
Well, we're struggling. We pick up retail from Hannaford, so that gives us 2 days. And then
I think you
we
froze.
have,
Maureen, I think your connection froze on us. Yeah. Is she frozen for everybody else too? Everybody's frozen. No.
Okay on my end too.
You guys
Yeah.
all froze for me. Maybe
Yeah, it's you,
my
Holly.
connection.
It's you, Holly.
That happened.
Sorry. What our people really enjoy is the fresh produce. So we order 5,000 pounds of fresh produce from Good Shepherd, and they deliver it to us twice a month. So that
Okay, there was a survey one time and I took it, but I guess my data was lost and I thought it talked about charging for delivery, but I got it wrong. Okay.
Right now it's still free delivery.
Okay, great.
And we're right near Jordan Farms, who produces a lot of produce for Good Shepherd. So oftentimes they drop off for us, go to Jordan Farms and pick up and turn around and go back to Hampton and Auburn. So hopefully they're valuing that mileage. So
Perfect. Thank you, Maureen.
Rosalie, how are you guys faring at the Oxford Hills Food Pantry with the prices?
We yet too early. We depend a great deal, at least on our meat. We pick it up from Hannaford, and that's holding up okay so far. I was debating today whether or not it was time to talk to our volunteers and maybe give them a little boost in their gas mileage price. What we, so I haven't done anything about it yet, but I think perhaps I should. The person who picks up at Good Shepherd is a volunteer. He might like to have a little gas money now that he didn't need before.
Mhm.
Those are things I need to look into.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I didn't know you
So
guys
one thing I
reimbursed for
wanted
mileage.
yeah, I think that's great that you guys reimburse for mileage. One thing I wanted to shoot out there too before I forgot for, because Linda, you guys still pick up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Linda and Rosalie, in the next month or so, there's going to be some changes down there at Good Shepherd. There's going to be some, for those who pick up their food, you're going to be seeing signs. I don't know if Mike or Rune has said something to you guys or your husband, Linda.
No,
Um,
not that he told me.
Okay, keep your
Not-
eyes out for some changes that are going on because the whole front's going to be changed. You guys are going to be going to the back of the building. But
Okay.
just keep your eyes out. It'll be in the next 3 weeks to a month, and they should be giving you guys a heads up.
Don, my husband he really likes that run, which is amazing. He said, well, I hope you don't, that circular driveway doesn't take my job away. But he's met some nice guys from Auburn and they help him load and he helps them load. And it's easy because they can load the van with the forklift and just
Yes.
slide it in. So
Great.
who
So
knows?
give Dawn a heads up.
I will. Thank
Okay,
you.
there may be some changes. You're welcome.
Carl, are you experiencing anything at the hospital food pantry? I'm not quite sure. I know how you're budgeting, how you budget your costs and who pays for it and stuff. So I don't know. I'm sure you're affected as well, though.
Yeah, so my budget is through Maine Health. They pay for all the food. As part of their food is medicine program. There are currently two hospital-based pantries, one at Stevens and one at Franklin Memorial in Farmington. They're opening a new one down in Portland soon. And Maine Health pays for staffing and food. And we order from Good Shepherd, just like all of you, and also from local farmers, just like all of you. So we're affected just like all of you are, except I don't have to worry about where the money comes from.
Are any of the pantries that are on here connected to a gleaning program at this time?
We sort of
I'm not-
are. Last year, we just got in under the wire with Pie Tree to glean for apples. We just need to get our communication a little bit better because the next day it was frost. So I have to talk earlier. And so we glean I'd like to glean this year for strawberries. So I should talk to them now. But that's new to us. We've done apples 2 years in a row and it's worked out well.
Great. I could mention that for this year, for the first time in 3 years, I believe, we had the US Post Office pick up food in Norway. And I don't know how it compares to previous years, but we ended up receiving 1,298 pounds of food in that post office postal pickup. And that was on Mother's Day weekend in May. So that was kind of nice.
Was that food donated to the post office? I'm not.
Yes, they put flyers in the mailbox
Oh, wow.
and people put the food in their mailboxes, and then the postal workers pick it up and bring it into the pantry. And so it's a lot of work for a short amount of time. But we got some funny things, but we also got some good things. The one thing that I really remember was 5 jars of artichoke.
I love artichoke.
I love artichokes. That sure beats farina.
We still have plenty of farina. Yes.
Jimmy, I never saw pistachios anywhere. Anywhere I went, never saw pistachios. I tried.
We picked them up at Harrison because we pick up at Harrison now twice a month.
Oh, you do?
But-
Oh, good.
Yeah, but last time they were even lower than normal. We usually get a lot more, but that's where we got our pistachios from.
Oh, that's cool.
But and we did that mail thing, or that mail thing happened for us 1 year. I don't know if it dropped off with COVID, or I'm not sure how we got excluded or I was supposed to do something, but it was good.
I think we have Ben Tucker on the line. He always has his phone number, never his name on the thing. Ben, is that you that's calling in? Would you like to say hello? Maybe not.
Always a drum roll.
Right, who's the 8449 phone number? If you're on here and you would like to chat, let us know. Oh, wow. Okay. So
Okay, we'll have to follow up that pistachio situation though. Because I know we did have 6 truckloads in the system, and yeah, it looked like 1,000 pounds of it, or no, 1,000 cases of it were distributed at some point. So I'll have to follow up.
17 Packard Avenue, Norway. Just
Yeah.
drop it in my
Could-
drive. That would be good.
Jimmy, could that just be because it went to different counties? You know how we switch them up for different counties?
So it used
So
to,
it's-
yeah, we've kind of stepped away from this county business, and
Oh, that's right.
like, yeah, like normally I would say yes, but since now it's like pantry specific and there is a model and everyone should more or less get the same basket of TFAP as far as the shelf stable stuff goes. So
And
it's just the amount goes up and down, not yeah. So everyone should get kind of the same basket, if you will.
And the reason we didn't get it, that was not your fault. We stopped doing TFAP for a while because we had so many lentils and so much farina and so many things and had no place to store it. So we've bowed out for a while and we hope to get back in at some.
I was going to ask everybody, what do you have a lot of surplus of that other than farina that?
Right,
We,
'cause-
we,
I have boxes of powdered milk.
Really?
Really? Wow. Because
I should
since
say
I'm-
cases of powdered milk.
since I'm
powdered
on
or
the-
shelf stable?
Is it a liquid? It's in a carton, but is it a liquid or is it a powder? It's definitely a powder.
Oh, it's powdered milk. Yes, it's in,
Oh,
it's powdered.
Well, just to let you know, since I'm back on the road now, I can take care of your surplus. Like there'll be less coordinating needed, meaning you call me, I come get it and I bring it somewhere. As long as I can fit it in my car. So I've had that thing freighted before. So just give me a shout and I'll come get it. It'll be a lot easier coordination wise.
Oh, I
think
didn't
there
know
is a-
that. Do you take lentils too?
Yes, ma'am. I've got a whole community that loves lentils.
Amy's car runs on lentils. Actually.
It does. It runs on lentils.
Can you imagine
And
if we
farina.
figured out how to run our gasoline cars on lentils? It would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Well, I've got a group of people, anyway, they have a small church pantry and they take all the lentils and chickpeas and dry peas that I can give them and are so grateful. What we were challenged with was the 283 cases of crackers we got 2 deliveries ago. We weren't sure exactly how that has happened, but we shared that with the 2 other pantries, and we did have storage space. So we're giving them out a little bit of time.
Is anybody hearing requests for formula with the formula crisis?
Not
No.
We only have 2 babies and they're both at the breastfeeding stage. So we haven't.
Carl, I saw you have a reaction. Are you having requests at the hospital pantry?
Yes, pediatrics reached out to me to see if I could get formula, and of course I can't. But we're exploring the possibility of a collaboration with the Lewiston Breast Milk Bank.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
But I haven't heard any updates recently.
So there isn't a
And
breast milk
Holly,
program.
I'm back on the line again after I was on with my Senate Senate phone, and I don't know how it cut out, but maybe the government hasn't paid my Senate phone bill. I don't know. So I called in on my personal phone because I have paid that bill. Anyway, what I was saying is, I always look forward to listening to the grassroots work that's being done that I really is reinforced to me about the importance of it. And I'm always amazed at the volunteer aspect of it here in Western Maine. And I do report these conversations to my boss, and of course, everyone would know that Angus and Susan and Jared are all food insecurity in the state of Maine is at the top of all of their lists of problems that need to be worked on and solved. And in fact, today, this morning, Angus had a brief virtual meeting with people from Good Shepherd Food Bank, and one of the things that they thanked him about was his support of the federal public health emergency extension, which increased SNAP emergency allotments, and to let him know what their current challenges were, and to hear about any ongoing things that might be taking place. So his days, as you can imagine, jam-packed full. His days are actually outside of committee hearings and Senate floor things. The rest of his time is broken into 15-minute segments. So he did have a brief virtual meeting with people from Good Shepherd Food Bank today because he's concerned about these issues as well.
Thank you for that, Ben. It's good to know. Thank you for being on and taking the time out of your day to be here with us. I know that the $850 checks are supposed to be going out or were sent out. I would imagine that most of the population who is frequenting the food banks and the food pantries are the ones that are receiving this funds. Do you guys think this is going to have any significant impact?
I don't. I think they'll be using their 850 for other things, and they will continue to come to the pantry to supplement their food budget, because I think that's what they're using. They can spend their money elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Buying
money
things.
in
Yeah.
childcare, right?
I
think-
agree with you on that. And also, I mean, if you're really, really poor, you don't file income tax. So I don't think a check comes to you unless you file, or maybe if you're on disability, but I'm not sure of that. So maybe somebody else knows.
Right.
But
I know there
don't
was
know.
a big campaign earlier on, I want to say 6 months ago, 8 months ago, when like the third round of checks were going out to really try to get the people who don't file for income tax to realize that you're not paying any income tax, and that's okay, but we need to have a record of you so that you can get these benefits. You know,
They have
hard-
until October to file their state of Maine, I believe,
Oh, okay.
so that they will have that record.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, spread the word if you've got
I will.
people who don't file.
At the pantries, do you get, people who are coming in, clients that are coming in and asking these types of questions of you? Do you feel prepared to answer if they do ask?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Well, we're a group of volunteers who work at the pantry. I'm not sure what some of the other volunteers know or don't know. It's general information. If anybody asks me, I tell them what I do know. I guess that's it.
We have
What
a
I'm getting at is, do you think it would be helpful if we found a good, reliable source of factual information that we could create something that you could post or share with clients that are coming in about these programs? I know that there have been organizations that have been trying to reach this population.
I think that's a great idea. It's to get all the information in one place, because we have information on 211. And we have explained, you know, how to access the heat to get help, LIHEAP. We have a wonderful volunteer that checks the people in. And she's also a former nurse and a former case manager at the hospital. And so she's a wealth of information, and she just if they ask questions, she gets on her phone and either does it for them, because a lot of them don't have internet access, or she gives them numbers to call. So she's been great,
That's wonderful to have a person like that there.
because I get it.
By the way, if you check your email, I just sent a link that all of our staff got this morning from the state of Maine, where there's a link. It's a state of Maine government link where you can check on the status of your refund from the state government. And it's like you click on the link and it will ask what county or what's your zip code, and you can find out if they mailed that refund check out for you yet or when they expect to mail it out. So it's just an FYI. If you want to share that in the chat, please do.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It was on the news this morning.
The other thing would be, and I don't know, you know, there's always links, but we have a fairly high percentage of people that don't have computers, don't have smartphones, don't have email. So they need a phone number, and not a cell phone number, but well, a cell phone number is okay, but they need a phone number. Just feedback for the senators and the representatives.
Yeah. Do you guys have a library up in Sweden?
No, but there is one in Lovell and Waterford. I mean, because we serve a lot of area.
Right.
Would they go into a library? I know I'm making them sound inept, and they're not, but many of them are, those aren't places they frequent.
Right. No, I
And
understand. And it's not right. It's not someplace they would think to go. Right.
And they might be embarrassed to go, or, you know, so that's why it's good. I mean, like I said, my volunteer upstairs does a lot of it for them, but we're fortunate to have her. And as somebody that retired and volunteered and used to be a case manager, I mean, you can't get much better than that.
How awesome would a tablet be at every food pantry that could be used by people coming in so that they could access information and programs?
That's a thought. That's a good thought.
Is that something that's grant worthy that could be applied for a grant, or are the tablets only for administrative stuff?
Well, they'd have to learn how to access it. Some of them do know, but they could teach each other. I mean, some of them are better at it than I am.
That's what those wonderful high school hours of community service are fabulous for. Because they all know how to use technology.
Well, it's one of our biggest challenges at the federal level is exactly what you're talking about, because we get requests constantly for help with veterans and the IRS and Social Security and you name it, every government agency, and all of them now are internet based, and it's amazing how many people in the state of Maine either don't have a computer in their home or don't have access to good internet or have dial-up. And in some areas of Maine, 20, something on the order of 29% of the population don't even have a computer in their home. And so what that means is they actually, if they had one, they wouldn't know how to use it. So that's a daunting challenge that all of our offices face.
And you're right. I mean, I know how to. I'm somewhat computer literate, but sometimes, because I sign a lot of petitions, you know, it says text. I don't text. I don't even know how to text. Or it says cell phone. Well, I use a track phone. They're not going to get a hold of me on that. It's only for emergency. So I get frustrated. So you can imagine what our patrons feel. But enough out of me.
Anybody else have anything they want to share? They want to say? They want to
Amy, I did see where Good Shepherds is, I don't know if it's private or it's Good Shepherds, it's nonprofit, but somebody purchased up in Caribou, they're gonna be fast freezing vegetables. Did you see that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's Jimmy, that Caribou, that Blueberry Place.
There's a number of projects. I'm not sure which one. I know Catholic Charities was up to some freezer upgrades in that area, specifically Caribou, but
It's probably what it is.
that'd be my hunch. If you know it's Caribou, that's what I would think it was.
Well, they grow broccoli and that's why the blueberries I would think would be more on the coast, but I was just curious if Good Shepherd had a connection to that or would benefit from that, or is that more in the private sector right now?
That's a really good question. I would see if I can find any information out on that. Because
I was gonna say, is that the project Matt Chin is working on?
that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of that, but
And I can't, is it Healthy Harvest or something like that? I know there's something in the works for flash
Yeah.
freezing produce.
Yeah.
I just don't know how far we are into it. But like Jimmy said, if there's something going up with Catholic Charities, then I mean, that's just like bonus for that area. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, great.
It looks like Jimmy's looking to see what the program's called.
Well, it was to utilize small farmers. I know it was
Yeah.
connected with small farmers, and I just thought that was wonderful.
Yeah,
or
I
that
think
could
that
be LFPA is another grant that came through that I'm not as much so touching it, even though it is part of TFAP. I have a different guy that's kind of running that program, and I know that was to expand local food infrastructure specific to farms for food pantries. So
that's
there's
cool.
so many programs going on right now. It's really
Mm.
exciting times in that sense. But yeah, with the rising cost and everything, it's there's so many balls in the air. It's a lot to keep track of.
But I'll definitely see what I can find out about that program that we're referring to that Matt Chin was working on. I'd love to see that up and running. I just don't know how close we are.
Maureen, do you have any questions for the group as a new person? And, I don't know what kind of things you were looking for. I have no idea if we fulfilled them, but if you have any questions you want to ask anybody, this is a great time.
I don't think she could hear you were referring to Maureen.
Yeah,
Oh,
Maureen, yeah.
thank you. I did not hear you. No, I think I'm good. This has been good information. Working with Jenny Jones from Good Shepherd has been very helpful. And we're just learning as fast as we can. But thank you. This has been interesting.
Linda, a good person to hook up Maureen with might be the new Level Food Pantry. They're now a year in and have, learned a lot. I could send you that information, Maureen. I've got that too.
Sure, that would be great. Thank you.
If nobody else has anything else, the sun is back out, so take your extra 10 minutes and go out and get some vitamin D. And enjoy that. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for taking time out of your busy days to be with us today and share your information and your experiences. It is very much appreciated. I know that we have a lot of people who do listen in on our recordings. So it's even though they can't show up, they do appreciate that information. So thank you all for being here. So we have something to record. That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.